All right, this is September 2nd, first trading day of September. Took two longs today. I'm just going to go over the metrics for one because they were practically the same trade. So on these longs, basically I risked 148 for 560. It was a planned 3.7R trade, and I was actually in profit on this trade, but I let it go break even on me. So very, very frustrating. This is like the second time in the past couple trading sessions that I've done that. I'm not going to go over the scenarios that I had because the trades that I took did not correlate to them, but I will go over the context. So we had this pretty big sell-off in the pre-market, very, very aggressively from 64.72 all the way into 63.94 area. And it's not marked here, but there is a demand zone that was present here at the 63.89s. I think I marked it on. What the hell? Right here. So this is the demand area, 63.89s, which here's market open. We sold off into there. So that was some context. I took this trade off of the heat map, so that's what I will be reviewing. So aggressive selling here at market open into this area of demand here at the 63.89s. Buyers defended it well, right? Because we sold off into the level of demand, then we bounced from that demand, then we held that demand, and we can see these bids that got filled here on two occasions, and then we got this after this bid filled here, we rallied up. Off this rally, we formed this low volume node area right here from the 6407s to the 6397s. And so at this point, what I was watching for, well, hold on, I think this was when ISM data dropped at 9 a.m., which created this high over here. And at this point, I was looking for ways to get long on pullbacks into this low volume node. So that was the context and what was going on in my mind, right? We held this demand zone, bounced off of it, created this low volume node, and then bids were getting filled here too at the 410s, 409s, right? That was adding further confirmation to this trade. And then I'm going to play it. There were more bids that were getting filled here, and I really was tempted to actually take this long in this area here and kind of front run the trade. But something that I've been working on is being a lot more patient, and I did a great job of being patient, waiting for the price to come into the level that I had predetermined, which is low volume node. And so this was the start of the low volume node, and as soon as I saw this strong heavy selling come in and a bid getting filled, which gave me the confirmation to get long right there off that bid that got filled. And it was a one. Well, actually, it did not get. Did it get filled? A little bit of it got filled, but that was enough confirmation for me to get long because it did stay, and I was officially. I think I was long at 64.09. Yeah, 64.09, and my stop loss was at 64.04 3/4. The reason why I placed it at 64.04 3/4 was because it was below all of these bids right here. It was not the end of the low volume node, but this low volume node was very large, so I could not place my stop at the end of it. Instead, I placed it below those bids. And so my target with this trade was, I was targeting not this swing high, but I was actually targeting a high of day, just because of the context that we were bouncing demand, and it just looked very bullish, so I was confident it would hit. Obviously, it did not hit. So the trade works out in my favor relatively quickly, but then we do not get the continuation. We failed at that swing high. Offers got filled here, and then it rejected well. right back into my entry, and I took it off for a small loss, but then I re-entered shortly after. The second trade I re-entered at 64.08 at 9.25. So right around here, yeah, I entered again after this bid gets filled here on this aggressive selling. I saw that, and then I got in again at 64.08 right here. And this was pretty much the same thing that happened. We rallied up. Whoa. We rallied up. This time we broke the swing high, but then we failed to get continuation to the high of day. We never visited the high of day, and then we sold off after we broke the swing high, and I got stopped out again for a small loss. So CLC was pretty good. Context, obviously, I just went over. We were at a demand zone that bounced and held, and we had no relief bounce from the pre-market sell-off. And, bids were getting filled. The location was obviously at a low-volume node, and the confirmation was the bid that got filled within the low-volume node. So CLC was pretty good on this candlestick replay. I was looking to long into this low volume node. So price does sell off into there, and then I get long right there. But we do not get the continuation over that swing high. Rejection there. And then I get stopped out right there. So very, very frustrating day. But the playbook confirmation location the playbook context, location, and confirmation was good. The second trade, truthfully, should have been a break-even trade. I did not want to. What ended up happening is I entered on the second trade at the 408s, but I felt as though the trade wasn't invalid unless below here. But then when we came back, I ended up cutting it early anyways, and I didn't even realize it to there, which thankfully I cut it early, because had I have just allowed it to run, then I would have realized the full loss. But no, I should have taken it off break even on the second trade. And what else? I mean, I think the trade was managed pretty well. Other than that, it was a good trade. It just did not work out. So, yeah.